our first podcast, video cast. So, forgive us if we make mistakes.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about seaweeds.
Seaweed or sea vegetable, known by both.
Okay.
And so I wanted to start off by saying that I recently read this book, and it was really good, and it told me a lot about the history of seaweed and a lot of other things. And I actually got it from my library, the Delray Beach Public Library. And so I brought the book today. It's by Jill Gussman, and it's called Vegetables from the Sea. What we want to talk about today is that there are a lot of different types of sea vegetables.
Right.
About 7,000 different types that they know of, although that isn't the quantity that we eat. There's very few that we actually know about and eat.
Right.
So we brought a little show and tell
I
today.
think one of the most common one is nori.
How do people know that one?
Sushi.
Yes.
Everybody who's tried, and sushi's fairly common these days. Most people are adventurous enough to try it.
Yeah, so they come in, lots of these seaweeds come in nice little packages like this, and actually you get a lot in there. If I was to pull this out, the sheets actually are folded over, and you can open them up, and if you like raw food, you would actually eat them raw.
Right.
And some people, like if you're not worried about raw food, then they toast them. When you toast it, it actually comes a vibrant green color.
Okay.
When you do that by putting it in the oven really quickly. But anyway, that's a nice, easy to eat seaweed. There's lots of minerals and vitamins, a lot of nutrients and minerals that are in seaweeds. They're super good for you.
Right.
I think it's a food that's underappreciated maybe in the United States. In Japan, the sea vegetables they're about 10% of the Japanese diet.
That's pretty high.
Yeah. Eating the seaweed is really good for your bones, for your teeth, for your hair and your nails.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I need some more seaweed.
That's great. I think you eat a lot.
Okay, so here's another one. It's a dulse flakes.
Yeah, so dulse. Dulse is something that I like to put in like a little sprinkle container. And I sprinkle it in my salads every day.
Oh, okay.
So really, if you're not liking a fishy flavor, this one you really can't even taste. You just, when you put your salad together, just sprinkle a little bit on your own portion or in the whole bowl. People won't even know that it's in there.
And it's got a little saltiness to it?
It does have a little saltiness to it. Let me just sprinkle a little in my hand here. And you can see they're actually just little teeny flakes.
And how is this different? Is it a different color?
Right. Seaweeds come in different flavors, colors, textures. This one is kind of a brownish reddish, where the other one we said was kind of greenish. Yeah, green. Also, just by the way, dulse comes in strips, and that's something that we talked about a little while ago. Maybe we'll make a podcast for you on that.
Right.
But a DLT, or a dulse lettuce and tomato, and they come in like little bacon-like strips, and you just put them right down on your bread. Delicious, love it.
Here we've got
So this is something that's actually very good to soak your beans with. It puts nutrients into the water and into the beans, but also it helps cut down on the gases in it, and it makes the beans more digestible. You just put like a little 1-inch piece right in your pot. The other thing I'm going to point out too is the amount of calories in seaweed is very small. So it's very high in protein, so it fills you up. You can eat large quantities, it fills you up, and there's like no calories in it. How can you beat that? Actually, that's one that I'm going to let you look up in the book. I've only tried that one a couple times. It's very stringy and thread-like. You soak it in water for a little bit of time, and it expands really well. One of the things they say to do with sea vegetables is actually mix them with your vegetables.
Oh, okay.
So like peas and seaweed or something like
I
that.
would think it would be good in a stir fry, maybe.
I bet it would be good in stir fries too. And this is something you can eat kind of like mung beans. You know how you saute those with a little tamari? You can do that in a pan.
Right. Okay.
One thing is be careful about the amount of time that you do soak your seaweed. So sometimes people soak it too long, it'll lose its flavor, it'll lose its texture, and it'll lose some of the nutrients in it as well. And some people go, oh, that's okay, I'll just cook it with the water, but actually it does affect the flavor and the taste, so you don't want to over-soak it. Okay, and so again, that's another one. Actually, this one, did I even open this one yet? Yeah, this one, I can't even remember what I made with this. I think I might have put it in like a a miso soup or something.
Oh, okay, perfect.
But I think there's different kinds that you can use for miso soup. But anyway, this book, she does give some great recipes.
Okay.
And
I use nori in the miso soup.
do you too? Okay.
I do.
Okay.
And I just cut it, in strips, and then it tastes really good.
How do you cut it? Do you cut it with scissors or a knife?
Scissors.
Okay, I was saying that's what I do too, scissors, yeah. It has little preparations, but even so,
Right. Yeah.
scissors is very easy.
Yeah. And then if you're making sushi at home, do you wet the nori and it's easier to work with, or do you soak it?
Because I had toasted it, no, I didn't
Oh,
wet
okay.
it. I just pulled it out of the oven and put everything down on it. The only thing I did do is to hold it together. I did wet the edge of it to lick it and stick it together. But I don't make a lot of sushi. I've only really experimented with it a couple times.
Okay. And the final one we have is Irish moss.
Irish
Not
moss.
a Japanese sea vegetable.
I was reading a raw food cookbook, and a couple recipes had a need for Irish moss, and so I went out to try to find it, and I couldn't find it.
Huh.
So finally one day I did find it. Found it in Boca Raton at 4th Generation Market, and they actually have there a little bake area, and so they had used it in some items. It's pretty much flavorless. It kind of creates a gel-like substance. You soak it for a very long time. One thing I will say is it gets a lot of seeds and shell particles in there, so you really have to soak it a long time, and the instructions do say to do that. Here it says soak anywhere from 4 to 24 hours.
Wow.
It's a long time, yeah, but it's kind of like a thickener, which kind of reminds you of two other that I didn't even bring today, which is agar agar.
Yes.
Or agar, I'm not sure how to say it, and then...
And I use that for thickening puddings and things like
exactly. And then there's one more, I'm trying to think, it's a kudzu, which some people say kuzu and some kudzu, which is another thickener.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
That's interesting.
agar is good for like gelatin type forms,
Yes.
where the other one doesn't have to be heated to get that.
I actually make sort of a vegetable aspic sort of thing, and I use that.
Nice.
The agar.
Yeah, so again, this is more for thickening, and I've seen it in recipes for baked goods. I did make something with it one time. I have to say, after all the work that I went through to do it and clean it, you can see I still have a lot left. I haven't really used it again.
Right.
But the good news is, everyone, that these last for a very long time. When you get them, you want to store them in a cool, dark place.
And dry.
Cool, dry, dark place. You can keep them in the little bags, airtight, and then I actually put them in Ziploc baggies to make sure that they're really tight. They also say you don't want to throw them all in together, because the flavors will affect the other ones. Another good thing to do is you can put them in little mason jars on a sealed lid that keeps it nice and tight.
Right.
So anyway, enjoy your sea vegetables. I hope we've inspired you to of the benefits of it. And
and we haven't, we in the West haven't been using it very long, but in the East it's very common to use.
Definitely.
So it's been used for centuries. So we're going to be doing some recipes using sea vegetables, and one of the ones we want to do is the DLT that you got me hooked on. And also it would be useful to do some a simple nori recipe.
we can do. I have a nori crunch recipe, so it's some nuts and some seaweed mixed in there together with some flavorings.
Yeah, and I think nori is one of the easiest one to find in stores. I think you can find it in most Asian stores, as well as most even grocery stores have it.
Sure.
So. I think Whole Foods carries a lot more variety, so we can do a couple of those. But the dulse strips, the DLT recipe is a good one.
Yeah, and actually, Whole Foods near us does not have the dulse strips, but there are some little nutrition cottages that do have it. There's one in Delray Beach, so and a lot of these things you can buy online as well.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that don't be afraid of ordering them online, and we can do a few recipes so that you have a collection of recipes that we can use.
So look forward and look to our website.